Hello and welcome to this long-range weather forecast update. I am meteorologist and NeoWeather President Brian Ivy. Thank you so much for joining me here as we discuss a little bit about what we've seen so far and what we'll see through the rest of December and into the rest of winter as well. So we thought there was going to be some decent signs in our winter forecast for December to be warmer than average across the central and eastern portion of the United States. So far, so not good, but so okay. We'll go with that. Plenty of warmth across the central part. Okay, wonderful, awesome. As we go across portions of the Mid-Atlantic, Tennessee Valley, up into the Ohio Valley, it's been pretty average overall. Oof, very cold across all of the Northeast, extremely cold, and then even down into the Southeast, a little bit on the chilly side. No big surprises compared to what we were originally looking at across portions of the Southwest. That is kind of where the cold area is for now. That will change through January and February. Here's the pattern as we go throughout the next couple weeks. Overall, as we take it kind of hourly through the course of the next few days. Some cold air intrusions, especially across portions of the northern plains into the upper Midwest, but they're not going to get super far deep south. We're going to have a little bit more warm air trying to creep in at times. So here's your one cold blast, with a couple different low pressures really trying to pull down that troughing here and allow for a little bit of ridging along the west coast, kind of shutting off that pathway for a few storms to really develop. And within that, we're going to see this cold air try to beckon. Now, this is some pretty serious Arctic air, but it just doesn't come down that far south. It kind of stays locked up in a portions of Saskatchewan, maybe towards the Winnipeg area at best. The jet stream is nothing really too far from what you would normally see this time of year. Some waves of stronger jet energy, some breaks kind of in the action at times. We will see some areas of that jet kind of pushing troughing into the eastern portion of the country that allow some of the cold to come down. Then kind of more of a zonal Pacific flow, which should push in some warmer air across much of the nation and start to amp things back up towards the Rockies and the West. Going towards the week of Christmas, a lot of people already wondering, are we going to see a white Christmas? Is it going to be nice and cold? Warm weather is probably around across the eastern portion of the country. So if you're out towards the west, okay, but not so much, probably above average temperatures. Pretty good model agreement with that. Our teleconnections that we look for, different pressure and temperature patterns across different areas of the world, probably also indicating that there will be some decent warmth at times towards the end of December across the middle and eastern portion of the nation. Here's a look at what we're going to see over the course from now through the next couple weeks here in December, through the middle portion of the month. Again, some cold will spill down. Very cold air trapped well up into Canada from the Hudson Bay back into the northwest portion, but some warm air continuing to circle across portions of the southern U.S. There's some big cold. Marquette getting in on it. Here's Marquette. Whoops, wrong pointing. And then towards the northeast as well. But then there's some warmth. That'll shove up as well. So we are going to see really that back and forth, up and down, just like this week, pattern where it's unsettled. There's definitely some warmth, but then there's also some big cold. Nothing really lasts long. There's some average in the middle. This is not the big wintertime pattern that we were expecting. And this is still, we're not expecting any type of big winter pattern. Now, as we go through December, this is known as the EPO, or the Eastern Pacific Oscillation. This is going to be one of the big triggers for this winter. Look at this kind of go up and down. This is neutral right here, so this is kind of your average. Up and down, down. Into December, down it goes. That will likely create a ridge of high pressure across portions of the Gulf of Alaska, the Pacific Northwest. That should force ridging throughout the western portion of the country. And all that cold air that was bottled up into Canada, that should have a much easier time flowing into the central and specifically eastern U.S. probably for the start of January. That's one of the main things that we're watching out for. But until that happens, I mean, we're still kind of in this warmer pattern, or at least an average-ish pattern. This is the MJO, Madden-Julian Oscillation. It's a tropical forcing, creates thunderstorms out in the tropics. But when it's in stage 2 and 3, which is going to kind of be dominated in this stage, it does not correlate or typically convey the type of pattern that you like to see a ton of cold and snow across the central and eastern U.S. And that goes out through the next couple weeks. So again, no big signs pointing towards any major cold lasting for any more than really a couple days. as we go throughout the rest of December. Precipitation wise, generally going to be a little wetter pattern, so if we do get some cold air ahead of the storm, we could definitely see some decent snow in this corridor. Some models kind of move this around and flip-flop a little bit, but overall, some spots will be close to average and some spots just slightly on either side. I'm not expecting a big dry pattern. I'm not expecting anything as far as a super soaker. Maybe a little bit wetter out across the four corners with that active Pacific jet. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this long-range forecast update as we continue to provide you with the latest details on what to expect for your operation. Accurate weather information each and every storm, throughout the storm, very specific to your operation through NeoWeather. Be very happy to be able to work with you.